April Nicol is a public figure known for her advocacy in the Second Amendment world and as a badass operator Rose in Call of Duty Modern Warfare. But that's just scratching the surface. April is an ER nurse, a wife, mother, social media and Twitch personality, and a staunch supporter of our military veterans and first responders. She's also the face of Call of Duty Endowment's newest and only female operator, promoting a charity that helps veterans find high-quality jobs. She hosted the Ganey Cup at Fort Benning, a worldwide military competition, and is involved with Redcon1 and Gruntstyle, showcasing her leadership in our community. When she's not busy saving lives or supporting our troops, April enjoys traveling, working out, outdoor activities, and spending time with her family. So without further ado, let's dive into my conversation with the amazing April Nicol.
Well, we had a break-in our house in the middle of the night when our son was 6 months old. And so the first guy came in and tried to punch my husband, and he dodged it and grabbed the guy and took him down. The second guy never saw me. He was focused on them in the dark living room. Just remembered, oh my God, turned the safety off, and then I went like this and racked one and a bullet fell out. I was like, I guess I'm good. And so I don't remember what I was saying, apparently a lot of profanities, but I told the guy, don't come in the house. He froze. He was going to go get on top of my husband, who was on top of his friend. But then when he saw the gun, it was like, this is interesting. Everyone's like, oh, somebody's getting in your house. Just call the police. Let me tell you this. I'm an advocate for police 100%, but they're understaffed, as you know. They don't come in the time that you wish they would most of the time. They just can't. They don't have the numbers. They were trying to get into the neighbor's house first. She was home alone, and she was terrified. So she had been calling, and then finally we called, and then it took, all that time by the time they did finally arrive. So I think if we didn't have a weapon, what would have happened?
That's a good point.
Let me tell you this. They wrote us an apology note.
Who?
The burglars. I swear to God, I'm going to send it to you. I swear to God.
So I don't actually really have a format for this.
That's fine.
Just kind of jump into it and go. The one thing that does stand out is when how we first met for the first time.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And I was like, who's this psychopath and why does she keep looking at me? I don't know who you are.
No, psychopath.
But no, it was, was it DFW or was it,
I think it was DFW.
Yeah, I remember.
Because I think I had a layover.
Yeah.
Actually, I think I was on my way to NRA show. I think I was.
Yeah, that's where. Yeah, because we were on the same flight.
Yeah. So how weird that's what I'm here for now. Oh my God, what a small world.
Damn, that just hit me.
Yeah, that is so
shit,
crazy, right? The universe works in mysterious ways.
First time meeting you was at NRA.
Yep.
First time on the podcast. NRA.
That's cool. Yeah, that's crazy. But yeah, that flight was something, man. Yeah, I saw you because you always have a hat on, and at the airport you didn't have a hat, and I'm like,
and you're like, who? He looks familiar, but I don't know what. Why does he look like that? Yeah. I don't. Most people don't realize I don't really wear a hat in my regular life.
Really?
So, no, I don't. The hat is mainly for my on-camera stuff.
Interesting.
And it's also how I hide.
Yeah, I wear a hat all the time at the gym so I could hide.
See, I'm the opposite.
Yeah.
So you give me a hat. If I take the hat off.
Yeah.
Nobody really recognized. You were.
Yeah, I was like, I think that's him, but I don't know. Well, that's interesting because when I do nursing, I always wear my glasses, but almost never wear glasses outside of nursing. But it's kind of twofold. Number one, so people don't recognize me, and number two, so that it's eye protection.
Okay.
Oh, and three, my
nursing
glasses.
Are you doing?
ER.
Well, that makes sense.
Yeah.
So my neighbor is a trauma surgeon.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Yep.
He doesn't really sleep.
Yeah. Well, I was like, I slept like shit last night. So I was like, I'm tired. And two, when I travel, I'm a super wound up, anxious person for the most part. So when I travel, it's a lot of anxiety for me.
So how do you juggle that between that? So do you run into any issues with the gun stuff that you do and the nursing stuff, or is that kind of?
No, surprisingly. It's amazing how many people in the medical field actually are very pro-gun.
Really?
Yeah, and it sounds contradictory in some ways, but then in a way I think it's not because we know and see how fragile life is. And so it's you want to protect that, you want to protect your family, yourself. But yeah, there's actually a lot of pro-2A people in the medical field, which I'm very surprised by. There's some that aren't, but I don't know.
Those weirdos are everywhere.
Yeah, they're everywhere for sure. But no, in fact, the hospital that I've worked with for a while has been amazing. Anytime I would need time off, or even when I went to DC to advocate for the gun rights, I was like, hey, I'm scheduled. Is there any way I can get these days off?
So they knew what you were doing?
Yeah, they were like, well, what are you going to DC for? And I was like, here we go. And I was like, to advocate for our gun rights. And they're like, yeah, we can switch your schedule.
Oh.
Amazing, right?
Okay.
So, I've been very, very very blessed with that.
Yeah, a lot of people can't say that, so that's definitely a blessing.
Yeah.
How long have you been a nurse?
5, 6 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, about 6 years.
Damn, ER, that's intense. I don't think I can do ER.
ER, it's a blast. I knew when I wanted to become a nurse, I wanted to be an ER nurse immediately.
Okay.
It just,
When was this?
God, long time ago. And because I went to school first so I have like a journey I've done.
Don't y'all all?
Yeah. Yeah. I got a lot of useless education. I have degrees in psychology, criminal justice, and minor in forensic psych.
Okay.
So I had originally wanted to be a dolphin trainer, but in order to be a dolphin trainer with SeaWorld, I know, right? You have to have either a zoology or psychology degree.
The fuck?
You're getting all the good info.
A dolphin trainer?
Okay, so I went from dolphin trainer to microbiology, and then I was like, no, I'm going to work for the FBI and be part of the behavioral profiling unit. So that's why I got my criminal justice and forensic psych and psychology. So I parlayed all that, and then I was like, wait, no, I don't want to do that. I don't think I want to work for the FBI anymore for sure.
Touche.
And then, I was like, okay, if I'm going to go back to school, it better be something I would be interested in, has a job market, pays decent. And I was like, nursing would be cool. So, and ER is just like in my blood. It's like, it's super ADD, like everything changing all the time. It's really exciting. And I love taking care of really sick people. Like, I don't know, there's something about getting a super sick person stabilized that, I don't know, I love it.
How often do you deal with, so you're in ER, how often are you dealing with, say, for instance, gunshot wounds and other sort? Is that something you encounter frequently, or?
Not at the hospital I'm at currently.
Okay.
That one's pretty, it's like the unicorn of hospitals. The one I'm at right now is pretty chill, to be honest. It's nice. But the last hospital I worked at was like in a really downtown kind of sketchy area, but it was fun. I've been an ER nurse for a long time, but I felt like it wasn't until then I really earned my stripes. Like there was some crazy stuff that would go on. You'd get homie drop-offs where they would literally just throw somebody at the ER door all overdosed.
So that's just not on the movies.
Oh no, it happens, and it happens more than you think. Yeah.
Huh.
But I don't know. But I'm like, yeah, let's go. I don't know. I live for that. So if you pass out or something you're good.
I'm good to go?
I'll be excited, but I'll save you.
Because I'm squeamish as hell. So I see blood, I'm like, only mine, actually. Now that I think about it, my blood I can't really like. I don't like seeing that.
Yeah, I get that.
Because I thought when the first time I ever went hunting, I thought I was going to get a little squeamish when we started cutting the animal up and stuff. Oddly enough, no.
No, you were good?
I was pretty good, yeah.
Yeah, I get it, though. I can handle anyone's emergencies, but the minute I'm sick, I'm like, oh my God, I'm dying.
Oh, I turn into a straight bitch.
So, me too. No. So I'm like, I get it. Blood, I'm fine with. I don't know. I don't really want
I would hope so.
Yeah, right. Yeah. I've never gone hunting. Can you believe that? Never.
Okay.
I've never gone hunting.
So then what got you into firearms?
Well, that's kind of an interesting story. So my husband grew up with guns. Like, my dad was a cop growing up, but my mom hated guns. So obviously there was guns. He was in SWAT and all that stuff. But we weren't ever allowed to. I don't even know where he kept them. I mean, they had to have been somewhere. I never saw them, never got to shoot them. So long story short, my husband grew up shooting, hunting, all that. Okay. And so when we met and started dating, he was big into it. And he would try to show me, how to work a gun. I was like, oh my God, I don't want to hear this. I don't care. Like, I never thought I would want one.
He's mansplaining to you.
Well, we had a break-in in our house in the middle of the night when our son was 6 months old.
Okay.
And so I remember two things: turn the safety off and make sure there's one in the chamber. And so the first guy came in and tried to punch my husband, and he like dodged it and grabbed the guy and took him down to the floor, and thankfully was able to like keep him locked up on the floor. He had him all tied up.
Yeah.
But the second guy never saw me. He was focused on them in the dark living room. This is like 2, 3 in the morning.
I've never knew this about you. This is crazy. Yeah.
Crazy, right? So I just remembered, oh my God, turn the safety off. And then I went like this and racked one and a bullet fell out. I was like, I guess I'm good. And so I don't remember what I was saying. Apparently a lot of profanities. But I told the guy, like, don't come in the house. He froze.
Okay. So he was still outside.
He was in the entryway.
Okay.
So it was like the little entryway and then the living room and then the stairs was behind, like backed up onto the stairs. And so, he was in the entryway. He entered the house. He was going to go get on top of my husband, who was on top of his friend.
Okay.
But then when he saw the gun, it was like,
Were they armed?
No.
No, really?
No.
And they just decided they were going to home invade without a firearm?
I guess.
Wow.
Yeah, right? Smart. They were like 20-some, like drunk college kids. And they had been, I think, burglarizing houses in the neighborhood. Because that night after the one got fingerprinted, he actually, one of them had broken into, there was a cop that lived like 2 or 3 doors down from us, and he had stolen, his prints matched the bulletproof vest and like the car prints. He stole his AR-15, the bulletproof vest. I don't know what else from the cop that was like the neighbor.
Sheesh.
So, yeah.
So after that, you were like, I'm all gun-ho.
Let me tell you this. They wrote us an apology note.
Who?
The burglars.
Shut the fuck.
I swear to God, I'm going to send it to you. I swear to God. That, like 2 or 3 days later when we got home, or maybe it was like the next day. I don't know. Anyways, we came home. There was like a paper taped on the door. And I was like, what's this paper? Do we like not pay the bill or what? Well, we get out and it was an apology note. I swear to God, I have a picture of it. I'll send it to you.
Please do. Yeah, I want to see that.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
So, okay. So what made, so after he saw the gun, didn't he just take off?
No, he
Or
froze. He wouldn't
Okay.
move. He was like, just froze. And I was like, get the fuck out of our house. Like,
Yeah.
get out. He wouldn't even back up. He would not move. He was frozen. And then the other guy on the floor was like, I can hear him still in my head. He's like, I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. They just kept saying he was sorry. The
Yeah.
one that was like smashed into the ground.
Yeah.
And then finally we got them up and got him out the house.
Okay.
Well, the guy who was, my husband like dropped to the floor, his phone popped out of his pocket, was like in our kitchen. They came back to the house and was like, hey, can I just get my phone? Like, can I just get my phone? They're literally knocking on the door asking for their cell phone.
Wait, hold on. Okay. Let me get
Yeah,
this
I'm
straight.
telling you, this story's wild.
All right. So, okay, let's start at the beginning real quick. All
Okay.
right. So, all right. So you're at home. You and your husband are at home.
I'm sound
Right.
asleep.
Okay.
I have like supersonic hearing though when I'm asleep. I hear.
So you're a dolphin.
Yeah, I'm a dolphin. But I'm hearing the doorbell, or not the doorbell, the doorknob like, and then I would hear boom, like they were kicking the door. And then I'd hear the doorknob and I was like, oh my God, somebody's trying to get in our house. So I was like, hey, somebody's trying to get in the house. He's like dead asleep.
Yeah.
Finally, he wakes up and then you can hear boom again, like the doors and then the doorknob. And so he stood at the top of the stairs with the gun, just like pointing it down, and they're still just trying to get in. So we go down the stairs, turn on the porch light. I'm looking out the window, and he's like, oh, there's 2 of them. They see the porch light turn on, and they look at the light, and then they're still trying to get in the house. And I'm like, oh my God, are you serious? Like, what? So long story short, they eventually get the door starting to open, and my husband like went to put his foot, but by that point the door was already in motion. So he gave the gun back to me so that he could try to hold the door,
Okay.
but it was already too far gone. Like
Yeah.
the door came flying open.
Okay.
And so that's when I backed up onto the stairs. That first guy came in straight through the door and just like tried to punch him. He dodges it, grabs the guy. And it's crazy because I think you've seen my husband before probably. He's maybe like 5'10" and like 180.
I think only in pictures.
He's not like a big,
Yeah.
hulking man. And I was like, oh my God, I hope he doesn't get beat up. I've never seen him fight before. There's 2 dudes in our house. I don't know. So no, he like grabbed the guy's shirt, like lifted him in the air. I just remember seeing this guy in the air and I was like, what is going on? It felt like a dream. Then I remember the sound of the guy's air like knocking out when he hit the floor. Yeah. And then I was like, oh my God, second guy. And then I did the whole gun thing.
I think something activates in a man when it comes to his family,
It
regardless
has
of whether
to.
his tip. I'm going to caveat that.
In a
There's
real
something,
man.
Yeah, there are some
In
guys
a
who are
real
eh.
man, yeah. Yeah.
But I do think something activates in a guy who, when it comes to his family, where it's like you're going to do things that you otherwise may not do, or you just kind of just repressed, more or less.
Yeah, I
and
don't
so-
know, but it was wild. But yeah, the whole time our son was upstairs, he was 6 months old in his little crib, had no idea. So,
Okay, all right. So now we're at the point now where they come back for the phone.
yep, he came knocking for his phone, which obviously we didn't give to him. The cops came
They came after or before he came back?
after.
He came back. Oh, the cops came after he came
So
back.
what's crazy, okay, like this is interesting. Everyone's like, oh, somebody's getting in your house, just call the police. Let me
Yeah.
tell you this. I'm an advocate for police 100%, but they're understaffed, as you know. They don't come in the time that you wish they would most of the time. They just can't. They don't have
Yeah.
the numbers. They were trying to get into the neighbor's house first. She was home alone and she was terrified. So she had been calling. And then finally
Holy
we
shit.
called. And then it took, all that time by the time they did finally arrive. So I think if we didn't have a weapon, like what would have happened?
That's a good point.
So after that is when I was like, I'm no longer going to poo-poo this away. I hope I never have to use this. But if I do, I better know how to use it. Because what if I needed to use it and then it jammed? I would have freaked out. What would I
Yeah,
do?
That's true.
What if it ran out of ammo? What would I do? Like,
Because you're already 1 bullet short.
yeah, right. Yeah, I would have been like, "Where's that bullet?"
Do you remember what gun it was?
Yeah, as an HK, the USP expert.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yep.
All right. Yeah, I'm
That
assuming
was
you
a
still.
hand cannon, man.
Yeah.
Imagine little old me with that beast.
Was it a 9?
45.
45? Yeah, okay.
That thing would have knocked some lead. That's for sure.
Yeah, you would have fun shooting that one.
You would have known that was
Yeah.
not the right choice pretty quickly. But yeah, thankfully I didn't have to use it. And so
Is that the gun your husband still uses for your home defense gun, or?
Yeah.
Okay. What about you? Do you have your own designated home defense gun now?
I have a few, yeah.
Yeah, I can imagine.
I went from like, I don't even want to hear about guns to like, which one am I buying next?
That's usually how it goes. A lot of people don't realize, like, it goes fast. It's
Yeah.
either like if you like it, it goes fast in one direction. If you don't like it, you'll kind of scurry over to this side a little bit even more.
Yeah.
But then if you get one more go at it, then it's like off to races again on this side.
Yeah.
So that's why I tell people all the time, the best way to convert people is just take them shooting.
Yeah.
Or put them in a situation where they really need a gun, like your situation.
I never in my life would have thought that would happen to me, but it did. And I mean, it changed my whole life. And here I am now, like 80 guns later, wanting more. Still wanting more.
It doesn't stop. So, okay. So what would you say? So right now, what is your kind of, and I ask this question hesitantly because of what I do and, being a 2A influencer, gun influencer stuff, I'm always constantly rotating stuff a lot of times.
Yeah.
I do kind of have my go-tos, but like right now, what is your kind of go-to home defense gun?
I have the USP Expert.
Okay.
I like it because it's got the like Viridian laser at the end, and it shines that super bright light. It also has the green laser.
Okay, so it's the dual laser.
Strobing.
Okay,
Yeah, so I like that because you think if somebody comes into your house and it's dark, you have that. I mean, you're gonna blind them. So like I have great vision and you don't. So that gives you the upper hand immediately. So I have that one. I have the VP9. I have the Chris Vector.
Okay.
Because I'm like, all right, I'm going to use the handgun, but it only has so many rounds. Then I'm going to get my Vector because that's got 30 rounds. It's far more stable. So it's like, I got the whole plan. I'm like Kevin McAllister with my, like, set up all the tools. It's like Home Alone.
You're just like me. I'm the same way. I have a handgun on the nightstand, and then I have a rifle by the nightstand as well.
Yep.
And then I also have a safe in my room. It kind of throws people off a little bit considering I'm like, you live in a high rise. Like, why do you?
Because you never know. I mean, honestly, and sometimes those nicer areas are the areas people want to go to because they know you have nice things.
And I mean, and there are countless stories of people who've like accidentally gone to the wrong house, or you never know. I might have some like sophisticated drug lords or something like that who might try to create a situation where they follow one of my neighbors into the building, and then they make the neighbor scan their eye on the retinal scan in the elevator, and then they get to my floor, and then they might do. Yeah, we have a retinal scanner in my elevator.
What? You got some fancy. That's not surprising. I'm just very on brand.
I'm just paranoid. Yeah, I'm not playing with these people.
Yeah, no, I don't blame you though.
I'm not playing with them. But I don't really know what the retinal scanner does. Like I was on an elevator earlier today with a lady, and it's more of almost an annoyance to a degree. Because it's like you get on there, and if like I'm wearing a hat, it doesn't recognize me. So then I got to do this, and then it's like clearly it's not an Apple face scanner because the Apple joint does this shit immediately.
Yeah.
But yeah, like you get on there, and then it's like if I'm holding stuff, then I got to do this, and then if somebody else comes on the elevator, they have to turn around and face this way because it's trying to read their face.
Oh wow.
Yeah, but it'll keep away.
Oh yeah,
the crazies.
100%. Yeah,
the crazies.
I mean, it gives you a sense of peace of mind.
Yeah,
sure.
to a degree. Yeah.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, it's still anything can be defeated at any given point. So, it's one of those things where I like it, but I hate it.
Yeah.
But I hate it.
Yeah.
Now we were before we got on camera, we were talking about gaming because you asked me if I was a gamer because you saw my gaming.
Oh, your headset. Yeah.
So my neighbor gave me the headset.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because I was telling you he was he's a trauma surgeon.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
Yeah. So
and he games?
He games. Oh, does he?
Oh, heck yeah.
I hear him gaming.
That's awesome.
I hear him gaming all the time. So if he's on call, he's gaming. And then or if he's worked all day, he'll come home and
that's
then he'll start
amazing.
gaming. Yeah, I'm gonna have him on the podcast too, because I was talking to him about he'll like if I start mentioning bullet wounds and stuff, he'll start going a deep sea dive into that shit.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it's pretty funny.
That's so cool.
Yeah, so he's always playing Call of Duty. Always.
That's awesome.
I'm a little jealous, I'm gonna be honest with you, because you got your own character on Call of Duty, and I don't have a character on Call of Duty. And I always wanted a character on Call of Duty because of my narcissism.
My narcissism. You would be good on there.
I mean, I would think so too, but apparently Call of Duty, they don't like me. Now, I don't really play Call of Duty that much, honestly.
Yeah.
No, like I was telling you, it's just the, God damn it, what's it called? The learning curve
Oh, yeah.
I'm too far behind.
Oh, my God.
Right? So
yeah.
I'll start playing. I started trying to play it and set it up, and then I won't play it for a while, and then I'll try to come back and play it.
Yeah.
Only to realize I have to update for like 30 hours.
Oh my God, yes.
So then I'm like, fuck this, I'm not doing this shit. And so then it turns into another 3, 4, 5 months that I don't play. And then finally I'm like, all right, let's update it and do it. And I get on there, and then you have these 5-year-olds fucking sniping me from everywhere in the game now.
Yes.
I'm like, this is not fun for me.
My son makes so much fun of me because like my KD's so bad. He's like, how are you in this game and you're so bad? And I'm like, I don't care. Like I just play for fun. But yeah, man, I get on and it's like sometimes not even fun because I'm just getting annihilated.
Yeah.
Like I run out, dead, and then I get mad.
It's annoying.
So, yeah. And
it's
then they're in the
annoying.
corner and I'm like, I'm going to go get them. So I like run into the house like super stoked to get them and
then you
dead.
get blasted.
And I'm like, oh my God, yes.
No, I do think it gets to a point where people get so good it's not as fun as it probably should be. But then it's like, okay, then what's the alternative? Make everybody shitty at the game? And then there's always going to be somebody who's better than everybody else anyway. So it's just,
sure.
So it's an argument down.
Yeah.
But so I don't play Call of Duty as much. I'll do it every once in a while. I've been playing the same game for like 4 or 5 years, which is Tom Clancy Wildlands. Tom Clancy Wildlands and Breakpoint. And I don't even play online. I get on there, I cheat. I'm serious. The amount of microtransactions that I paid for that game is obscene.
Really?
It's fucking obscene. I
love you.
I have paid for that game 10 times over with just microtransactions, right? So I like buy all the guns and everything, right? Because for me, that's all I like doing. I want to kit out, get all the swap different guns, see what it does, see where the holes are and stuff like that. And then I'll just run around in the open world and just kill people. Well, the bad guys.
Yeah.
And stuff like that.
That sounds fun.
Yeah, so I'll do that. I'll hop on there, grab a drink, have a glass of something, and just do that until I get tired and then go to sleep.
I feel like gaming is just so fun for like a busy mind. You know, you kind of like tune out and can just focus and have fun. Like I grew up gaming. I played Call of Duty since the beginning. So to me, being part of the game now is like absolutely unbelievable. Yeah. Especially when I see myself like up there on ads with Ghost, because to me, Ghost is iconic COD.
Yeah.
So to see me with that, it's like, oh my God, I can't tell you how many times I've seen ads and I cry because I just can't believe it.
That is pretty dope though. That is really. So how did that come about?
I did a photo shoot, like a random photo shoot with a brand. They do a lot of stuff for like Sig Sauer, OpsCore. They take pictures for the 2A brands, but they also do a lot of stuff for Call of Duty. And you know, it was at SHOT Show, and I'm like, all these ads are all men. And I'm like, hey, if you ever need a tactical girl, like holler at your girl. It's all a bunch of dudes. And so a couple months later, they reached out and they were like, hey, we're going to go to Florida and shoot some stuff for like Sig Sauer and some other brands and also for Call of Duty.
Okay.
And at that time, it was when they had like a set cast of people. It was like season 5 of the 2019 Call of Duty.
Okay.
And they just threw me in the photos randomly, like as background. And then I guess they sent those to Infinity Ward, and Infinity Ward was like, hey, who's that girl that you used in your photos? We want to use her as an operator.
That's pretty dope.
Yeah, so Infinity Ward chose me. And then they called me a couple months later and they said, hey, we're going to bring you back out to shoot you for an actual character. And I was like, yeah, sure, whatever. You're such a liar.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, really, what are you calling me for? And they're like, no, for real. And I did not believe it for a while. And then I was like, oh my God, I started crying. So yeah, then they brought me out, did the shoot. I had no idea who I was going to play. And then it wasn't until I went to get scanned actually at Infinity Ward that I found out who I was going to play.
That's pretty dope.
Yeah, so Rose, I don't know if you know, she was part of the game before I was her. She was always masked up, though, head to toe. Nobody knew who she was. And then they wanted to unmask her. When they unmasked her, it was me.
You.
Yeah.
So I have a confession. So for me, I didn't really get into COD until later, largely because I couldn't do first-person shooters.
It's something to get used to, yeah.
Well, I get motion sick.
Oh, I've heard that a lot. If I play for a long time, I will too.
Yeah. I think I've overcome it now.
Yeah.
Or either that or my TV is just so big it's not an issue anymore.
Yeah.
But I literally I'd play for maybe 20, 30 minutes.
Yeah, and then you'd start.
I'd start getting like nauseous. I'm like, what? I didn't know what it was at first. And so I'm like, what is going on? And then, but now I can play them fine.
Yeah.
But before, no, I couldn't do it. So I would always play third-person shooters.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was like Battlefield and shit. That's what I would play.
And two, I just think it's hard getting used to those controls. Like when I first started playing, I'd be like walking into the wall, like turning around. It's hard to figure out like how to manipulate the controller appropriately, especially while you're getting annihilated.
What we got? Oh.
Oh, look at that girl.
She looks familiar.
Yep, that was my very first skin. And that was like original Rose.
So I'm assuming every time you play as her.
Of course.
Narcissist. I'm joking.
You got to support your own brand, right? You got to be look at that cool girl right there.
That's actually pretty dope.
Dude, it's crazy.
I gotta give it to you. I'm jealous.
I'm such a nerd though in real life that like she makes me look cool. You know, like I see this and I'm like, that's me, but I don't feel like it's me. That's like my alter ego. I'm not that cool. I'm so dorky and geeky in real life. So that was the skin that everybody like used and everyone hated, but they loved it because it was so easy to hide in the shadows. I had so much bad press during that time. It was insane.
So you can just camp and just be an asshole.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
So you're a camper.
I'm not. Yeah. I'm like the stupid one that runs out, but they would use that one to camp. That one's cool. That was actually never a skin. That guy. What do you think? Do you think it looks like me? Just
actually, no. Here's how stupid I am. I saw it and I was like, oh, that looks like. Well, yeah, duh. That's
just the eye color. Obviously, I don't.
No, it looks like you.
You want to know on this skin? They put my spade tattoo.
Wait,
like you can't see it right here, but yeah, they for this new game they actually like put my spade tattoo. So when she's holding the gun, however, you'll see it.
Okay.
Yeah, kind of cool. Like this.
I'm gonna play as you so I can see
better.
Yeah, until I get my own, and then it's like all bets are off. Like I'm just gonna do me.
And
the thing is, and I can never get like I try to create my character on Wildlands.
Yeah.
It never ever gets anywhere close to looking like me.
No.
And then no, not enough. Shut up, Peter.
If you were a Call of Duty character, which gun would you want to carry?
Ooh.
What would be your go-to gun?
As my primary?
Yeah.
Oh man.
Like AR.
It would AK. Definitely be it'd be an AR platform.
Yeah. What about secondary? What would you pick for your secondary?
Hold on, I want to do the primary first. Let me see. Let's do the primary first. I don't know why. I think it would be largely. I love the platform in and of itself.
Yeah.
Personally, but I think visually, I just love the look visually, and it would be a Scar.
Oh yeah, Scars are cool.
Yeah,
I like that you see one and you know exactly what it is. It's like the Chris Vector. Like you see that and you know exactly. Immediately.
No
it's
question
iconic.
About it.
MP5, same thing. Like because I love ARs, but like an AR is an AR is an AR.
Yep.
Granted, attachments and optics
you
and
can
things like that
it, though.
Can kind of personalize it, but it's still an AR. But like there are certain ones that are iconic Scars like vectors.
I call them iconic silhouettes. That's like yeah. And then I think
so there's your
another iconic silhouette, which is a rather new gun, but it's an iconic silhouette to me, is the MP7.
Oh yeah,
the MP7 is just MP7 when you see it.
True, very true.
And so I love that. But so I'd probably do a Scar. It'd be like an SBR Scar. And honestly, this is kind of my loadout in Wildlands that I'm breaking down right now. So I have the Scar, but in Wildlands I'm using a Scar 17, so it's the 308. Okay. It's an SBR version of the 308.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, because Wildlands it's open, and so I need to be able to reach out and touch shit.
Yeah.
And then for my secondary, I think I would probably go. I'd probably go either MP7 or MP5.
Nice.
Yeah, and then my tertiary, handgun wise. I would like to have a 2011 of sorts. Maybe they don't have them in the game, but if they had like a staccato or something, I'd probably do that.
Yeah. See, I don't think I've ever shot a staccato.
You've never shot a staccato?
I don't think so.
Really?
I don't think so.
People don't believe me, but I call them cheat codes.
Really?
Yeah. I call them cheat codes. If you tell me I need to, like, you're like, hey, I need you to put on the most awesome shooting demonstration you can possibly put on.
Yeah.
I'm going to grab a staccato. I'm going to probably grab a staccato XC.
And see, I feel like that with the Mark 23. I feel like those are so accurate.
I'm sorry, what?
Yeah.
The Mark 23.
Yeah, the 8K
45.
Yeah, that thing is dead on accurate. My brother has one. The first time I ever shot it, it was like nailing targets. Yeah, it's a massive gun. It's not practical, but
I love it. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah,
absolutely love it.
Yeah, but that one for me is like that. Like,
and can you even? That thing is massive.
I know it's a massive gun. I'll have to show you the video. I'll find it. But that thing, like first time I picked it up, it was just like dead on. Ding, ding,
really?
Ding, ding. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it could just be me. I don't know.
I
was kidding.
Hey, look, that would not be the gun I would choose to put on a shooting display. So it says something. Yeah. Clearly, I'm not the guy. No, I'm not. Wait, like, pull that up, Peter. Let's see. We can see how big this thing is, and it's iconic. I mean,
it's a massive gun. Yeah. It's cool though. I want one.
I mean, in that picture, really doesn't even do it.
No, it looks like normal size there. Yeah. In real life, it's massive.
I mean, it's basically a crew serve gun. Like you need like 3 people.
Three people.
Look at that.
Yeah, there you go.
That is crazy. Hey,
now picture little old me with that.
Hey, bets off. If that's your go-to, I ain't mad at it. Yeah. No, yeah, I'll do an XC. The confidence level I have shooting that gun is, and don't get me wrong, I have a Nighthawk that's pretty damn close. Yeah. Right. So that's why I kind of say, generally speaking, 2011 platform, because you give me a 2011 platform with red dot, I can take a shot out to 200, be completely comfortable all day long.
Do you like shooting pistol better or rifle?
Honestly, it's kind of my mood.
Yeah,
it's kind of my mood. Like sometimes I go out there and I'm like, I want to run handguns and just kind of shoot. What I tend to do is I'll start off kind of doing, tactical stuff, but inevitably I'll end up backing up and start trying to see how far I can hit things.
Yeah,
that was my thing.
That's a good answer because I feel the same way. Like typically I like rifle just because I feel like it's easier, and I feel like with a good optic, it's like a cheat code. Like you can't miss. If you're missing with a really good optic, you suck. Like
pretty much.
But then it's almost like, okay, I'm hitting it so much that you're like, okay, this is boring. Now I want to try something difficult, because shooting pistols sometimes is difficult.
I think with rifles, where it starts to become more challenging is where you start like manipulating the rifle. That's where I think it starts to become challenging. Or like running, how fast can you run it under control, going to multiple targets, things like that. Yeah. But yeah, you're right. Other than that, like after a while, it starts to get, okay, I've hit this target over and over and over and over and over again. Now I stop short at long range. Yeah. So when I think rifle, I'm thinking anywhere from like 50 yards to maybe 200, maybe 250. Anything past that, I start calling that kind of long range.
Yeah,
right?
It is. Yeah. 300 yards is far.
Yes, it is. Yeah. Especially for most people.
Yeah.
But I think with that, once you start kind of reaching out to those distances, you start to, it becomes so much more challenging that even though you're technically just sitting there pulling the trigger and just watching the bullet hit a target, you really start to kind of enjoy it in a way that I never thought I would like it, because I'm just now really kind of getting into the long range stuff.
Well, I mean, you have to do all these calculations like distance, bullet drop, is there wind, things like that you don't do as much in shorter range.
Just kind of just plug and play.
I feel like too, for me, like shooting's therapeutic because I'm always so like in my brain, just wild in my brain, ADD all over the place. But when you're shooting, you have to like quiet it all down and focus and like control your breathing. Because I know even like pistol for me is hard because I like jerk the thing sometimes. Yeah. I think everyone, but like
people don't realize how hard shooting a pistol actually can be.
It is.
Well, I'll stop. I'll say this: shooting a pistol is easy. Shooting a pistol good isn't too hard. Shooting a pistol really well is hard as fuck.
It is, because it's like a lot of dynamics involved. Like your grip's got to be good, all of these things. And then you got to know how to, if it's got iron sights, if it's got an optic, like, there's a lot of moving parts for sure.
So from what you do now in the space, right, which you're a 2A influencer, right? So what's that like? What's life like as a 2A influencer? Because I know a lot of people don't really know. I know. But most people don't. But even then, as a woman, like what's that dynamic like being in this, not only just as a 2A influencer, but being in the space in the community?
I feel honored, honestly. Yeah. Like to me, when I first started out in the space, it was a lot of, gun bunny, all these things. And then, I think people would see me shooting and realize like I knew what I was talking about. She can shoot decent. I'm not like an expert, but you know what I mean? And I started to gain that momentum as far as having some sort of reputation as like a real advocate, a real shooter. So to be whatever I am now in the space is humbling, because I have men, cops even, that, hey, I want to buy my wife a gun. What would you recommend? So for people who have a level of know-how that reach out to me for, whether it be gun parts, guns themselves, even gear, like, hey, I saw, what plate carrier do you wear? I want to get one, do you think it's comfortable? So to have gained that sort of reputation and that sort of standing in the industry is huge, being a female, because it's so male dominated, and I don't mind, like, I'm actually a dude, like, I mean, I look very girly, but I'm actually a guy at heart. So, I mean, I love it. growing.
I'd say you do the contrast very well. I'll give you that.
Thank you.
Like you definitely did do the contrast really well. Because if you explained you on paper, you would have a perception of you in one manner, but you're very much like you're a girl.
Yeah.
Of the highest order. And I mean that as a compliment. So yeah, you definitely manage that duality very well.
Thank you.
Because I think sometimes it can get easy to get lost. You can kind of lose who you are within that dynamic because it's like everything has to revolve around the gun, so to speak.
Yeah, and I try to just be as authentic as possible. That's one thing. Like I know some people will, like, if they're getting paid, they're gonna say this is great. I've never done that. If I don't actually use the product or like the product, I just won't do it.
Gotcha.
So for me, everything I talk about and everything I use is things I actually use in real life.
I'm a shill.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a straight shill.
So
I will pimp anything. Anything
well, then
that
I'll send
I
all the,
like.
Okay, I was like, then I'll send all the no's to you.
That's the caveat. No, everybody was like, "Oh, you're still." I'm like, okay. No, I'm. I don't care if I like something.
Yeah,
I'm going to wax poetic about it. I'm going to gush over it.
Yeah.
I don't care because I like it. Right?
Yeah.
So I don't. So when people call me shill, I'm like, yeah, you're right. I'm a shill products I like.
Oh, same
so
with
if I like
me.
it, yeah, I'm gonna wax poetic about it.
Yep, same. So. I don't know, but it's been interesting. It's cool to see my growth, in the industry where I started and, the comments I would get versus now, and then this last SHOT Show, I was on some of the branding for, so I look back to that first SHOT Show where I was like, what's with all these guys? And like to see me it was for Chris USA actually.
Okay.
And to me, the Vector is iconic, so it was just.
I don't think it gets enough love.
Oh my God. I don't either. It's such an amazing weapon. It just.
You know why though?
Why? Why do you think?
Because we can't get him in full auto. I think if you can get Chris Vector, if you could get Chris Vectors in full auto, I think it would be the most popular PCC on the market.
You're probably right. They're amazing. When I was at the factory, they have a indoor range that I was able to shoot at full auto.
Let me step that back real quick. After the MP5.
Yeah, the MP5 is iconic for sure.
But other than that, second I'd say,
yeah,
the Chris Vector would be,
Even the semi-auto is awesome. Like I have one and I love it, but I don't know why it just doesn't have the same momentum as some other guns that I feel like are way lesser in quality, in look.
I think what it is I think there's sorry, Chris, but I'm just going to say it. They do a terrible job marketing. So nobody really knows.
Yeah.
Right.
The marketing.
And then on top of that, I think sometimes people can feel a little intimidated by the form factor. Because it can look intimidating. It doesn't look like a normal thing.
Right.
Where some people look at it, I'll look at it and say, yeah, that's kind of dope. Because when I saw the Chris Vector for the first time, I was like, yeah, that's I like that.
Yeah.
And it doesn't look ergonomic.
Yeah, I can agree with that. It looks more like modular.
Yeah,
but it's actually amazing.
It's very ergonomic.
To shoot.
Yes.
Yeah, that's the weird thing is I see what you're saying. Yeah, it looks very modular, but to shoot it doesn't feel that way at all. In fact, there we go. Like. Yeah.
It's like when you deck one out and you have everything like I like tricking out my guns. Like people are like, why are you hanging all this crap on you? Because I like to, motherfucker.
Same.
But, I'll put lights, lasers, and all that shit. But a Chris Vector completely decked out. Oh, it's sexy. Yeah, it's absolutely sexy.
I have one and I absolutely love it. And then the way they mitigate the recoil internally is incredible. I mean, mine's chambered in 45, and it's a little one, but I mean. You don't feel it, you know?
Yeah.
It's incredible. So.
Now I will say this. You have to SBR it.
You do.
You have to. Yeah. You can't I get it with the faux suppressor or the long I was like, maybe. But no, you either have to SBR it or you have to put a pistol brace on it.
Yep.
Yeah. Because I have a pistol brace one in 10 mil.
Yeah, I have a pistol brace too.
Okay.
See, I tell you, we're like the same. Yeah. We like fashion, all black.
I don't believe in color.
Yeah.
Yeah. Peter does.
I don't believe in color. I know I wear color sometimes and I'm like, who is this person?
I've tried to wear color before. Like I remember I walked out my house one time. I think it was like an orange shirt.
Yeah.
I felt disgusting. I walked back inside and changed. I was like, this is gross. I'm not doing it. If it's not, it's either it's like varying shades of white and gray and black. Yep. That's it.
In my closet's like gray, greens, and black. Yeah.
Yeah, I can't. Okay, I can do like a dark forest green.
Yeah, like an army green.
Yeah. I will say this though. Recently, I've gotten really big on FDE on my guns.
We should do a day where we hang out and we have to like dress each other in ridiculous colors.
I don't think that'll go so well.
I want to dress you in a bright pink shirt.
Okay, now that's funny though because I wasn't always like this.
Really?
Nah. In college, I was one of the dudes who would like wear the bright polos.
Yeah.
Literally the bright
can
polos.
see that.
Yeah, I was like kind of prep-ish, pretty
what
boy
happened?
kind of life.
Yeah. I just feel like black is so simple. Everything matches.
I just think it's I just think it's a sexy color.
I like it. Yeah.
Like, and then everything other color just annoys me unless it's contrasting against
Just
black.
annoys me. I
Yeah,
love
that sounds racist as
This
fuck.
this man, I was in all black even at work, my scrubs, everything, and he's like, and he was in all black. He's like,
Yeah.
me and you. He's like, we dress like Johnny Cash, and I was like, I love that. Yeah, like I never heard that, but I was like, I love that.
Yep. I don't. Yeah. Give me black clothes all day long. I'm a happy man.
Yep.
Yeah. Even though technically some of the girls have said I do look good in color. You disagree, Peter?
Yeah, no lying to you.
Oh, okay. Well, there's that. But no, I'm definitely a fan of black. I'm definitely a fan of the Chris Factor. So last question I was going to ask you is, what is your go-to carry?
Right now, I carry a SIG P235.
P35. Okay.
Yeah, I love the size. I'm little, so it's easy to appendix carry, purse carry. So versatile. Or I have some of those little fanny packs that I use, and it fits everywhere. So
Nice.
I like that it carries a decent amount, and you know, for being such a tiny gun, and it's 9
It is,
mil.
yeah, because it is a small gun, but it's actually really shootable too.
Yeah, so that's what I have right now, and I just added an optic to it, actually from Primary Arms on
Okay.
it. Every one of my pistols has always been iron sights.
Ah, because that was gonna be my next question. I was like, so you're an iron or a red dot girl?
Well, I'm a red dot right
girl
now,
now?
so
Okay.
and it's. I mean, I like it. It's just it took some getting used to, to find that, but it's like a nice. It's got like the big circle. So it draws your eye, and then it's got the little chevron in the center. I really like it. So
Yeah, Primary Arm does a good job with their reticles. I'll give them that.
yeah,
I don't own a lot of Primary Arm stuff, but they definitely do a good job with the reticles. The Holosun does a good job with those too.
I think it was a combo because it's a Holosun, but it's I think the
Yeah,
ACSS.
that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah.
So yeah, but I'm a diehard freaking Delta Point Pro guy.
Yeah.
Because I think the window size is perfect. I think window size, and I honestly hate small red dots. I hate them
Yeah.
and I have them on guns. I just hate them because my eyes hyper focus. They just create a tunnel that I don't like, and so. But then I also don't like some that are too big.
Yeah.
The SRO from Trigicon,
Oh yeah.
I love it on the range.
Yeah.
I just think it's too big to carry personally.
Oh,
That's
yeah,
just
yeah.
my thing. So I think the Delta Point Pro for me is that perfect balance, but that's just my personal subjective.
Do you run yours sometimes with the counted sight?
On the rifles?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I actually do. So I love having backup irons with my red dots, and then on my longer rifles, so like my 6.5 rifles and things like that.
Yeah.
Any rifle that's like 18 inches or longer, I run a canted sight.
Nice.
Canted iron sights on them as well, or I'll do like a canted Delta Point Pro or something.
The first time I ever saw a gun with that can, I was like, "What is this? Okay, now you're doing too much. What the hell?" But
it
honestly,
works.
I love it. Yeah, no, I love it now.
Yeah,
But
it fits my body mechanics. Like it
Yeah.
feels natural.
it does. I mean, it seemed weird at first. I was like, "You're gonna like tilt the gun," but it works. Yeah, I don't know. I'm a fan.
Hey, wait, are you a lefty?
No, I'm
Oh,
right.
okay. I don't know why I look like. Oh, because yeah.
No, maybe because
I was like,
backwards.
wait, what? What is? I was like, oh, she's left-handed. No, but I actually am left-handed.
Oh, you are?
Yeah. Anything like gross motor skill stuff, like sports, things like that, right-handed. Anything that's that requires a little more finesse.
That's
left-handed.
interesting.
Yeah.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
cool.
So I'm a weirdo.
Yeah.
But
No,
yeah.
I'm just kidding.
But no, this was fun.
Yeah, this is
Still
great.
crazy how like first time I met you was NRA. But technically not but at the airport going
Yeah,
to NRA.
right?
And then now, first time on the show.
We had a near-death experience. Remember that flight was wild, man.
And at that time, I was not comfortable with flying.
Really?
No. I would never show it,
Yeah.
but I was terrified. I hated flying.
Oh, for you hate flying and then that? Because I don't mind flying, but that flight was scary.
Yeah, it was a nut. That thing was
Yeah.
dancing in the air like,
Dude, the drops. I was like, how many times can we drop and this plane not go down? Like, I don't get scared, but I was
Yeah.
getting a little like, I don't like this.
Now that I know more about flying, I like if I was back on that flight, I wouldn't have worried.
Yeah.
Just because I understand flight a little bit better now. But we'll go into we'll talk about that the next time you come on because
Okay.
that was a bit weird. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was,
But it's crazy, though, that was NRA, and now
then
we're at
now-
NRA. Like, that's kind of cool.
Yep.
I like it.
But no, appreciate it.
Yeah,
And,
well, thanks for
you're
having
always
me.
you're always welcome on the Colion Noir podcast, or anytime you're in town, let me know and we'll jump on and
Absolutely.
talk shit. And I might update my COD.
You might?
I might, because
Oh, man.
I haven't played in a while, so now I got to do all the updates and shit. And
Update it and play as me.
I'm
Even just one game.
I will do that for you.
You won't?
I'll do that for you. Fair enough. But no, thank you very much.
Thank you so
Absolutely.
much.
One thing's for certain and two things are for sure. Politicians and tech giants don't want gun content to be recommended to you. And we're all fighting this culture war together. Now, you can help do your part by liking, commenting, subscribing to the channel, but most importantly, sharing this video with at least one person. Together, we can stop the suppression of our 2A rights. And don't forget to click the link in the description section of this video for the products that I mentioned in this video.